so soon? Oh, thanks for coming back. Lee from PanelsOnPages.com, and this is yet another episode of the Toy Box. Last week we showed the various Samurai Zords and how they look and how they kind of work, to a degree, to make the Megazord formations and whatnot. This week we're going to take all those guys and cram them together, take all the crap apart, smash it all together, and see what sort of various combinations that we can come up with. There's lots of stuff, like tons and tons of things you can do. In fact, the whole line was built around not just these sort of, standard formations, but like all the weird crap they sell, like the motorcycles and, all the other stuff that nobody gives a rat's ass about. That stuff can be taken apart and pegged onto the arms or whatever to make new Zord combinations, which are really stupid. There's even a couple things that, like this weird scorpion tank thing or cannon, whatever, that is not in the show at all. They made it specifically just so they could peg it onto an arm of a Megazord. But the bad guy thing, why? They would think that the Ranger would commandeer a bad guy Zord. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's sell more toys. That's all it comes down to. But we're going to take a look at all the various combinations as fast as we can, because there's a lot of stuff to look at. So we'll hit the high points, low points, and all the way up to the massive, gigantic, multicolored, pointy as hell Samurai Gigazord. So you want to stick around for that because it's ridiculous looking, ridiculously awesome. Okay, so let's go ahead and start smashing this crap together, seeing what we got. So first off, we got the Samurai Megazord. I've gone ahead and taken his helmet off and stashed it in the dragon. He still hides that in there pretty nicely, even when the dragon is smashed together to make the legs, so that's cool. And this looks a whole hell of a lot like the Samurai Battle Wing, for reasons that'll make sense pretty quickly, with the exception that the thrusters on the bottom are missing. So now, this is really simple. Kind of no-brainer. You make something that's a big plane, of course it's going to go onto the back. So you got this piece here. This little guy here comes into play a lot. This hinge piece, these little two connector ports, gets a whole lot of play in this line. So, very simply, you just take and line it up, those holes, those slots, that pegs in, just like that. Big freaking wings, and then the tiger head becomes a helmet. Very similar to the one we're going to see in a minute when you see what the Gigazord does all by itself. So, pretty cool. Overall, neat look, neat design. It is effective. It's you want a Megazord with the wings, there you go, that's what you got. That's your Megazord with wings. So he can fly after flying bad guys or whatever. The other thrusters should, if you're following the show and how it looks, they should peg up here, like some crazy Madonna bra, but they don't. Instead, for some really weird reason, they're pegged down on the feet, on the legs. So they peg in right there, for reasons I really can't begin to imagine. I mean, you could just as easily have made those little nubs up here, and they wouldn't have been, they would be just as intrusive as they are down here. So put them up here, the way you can peg it in and make it look like it does on the freaking show. So I don't really know what they decided to do there, but regardless, there's your flying Megazord. I'm sure it has a weird name. Couldn't tell you what it is. So that's that. Now, the individual combinations with the separate support Zords are a pretty mixed bag. I mean, it's pretty much 50-50 as far as success, as far as like accuracy to the show and overall design aesthetic. The Gigazord looks pretty much spot on. You basically take the legs off, put them on the sides, and then it pegs down on top where the Battle Wing does. Helmet on, boom, you got yourself a Megazord with a rocket backpack, so it can be like brah 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 and shoot bad guys. I mean, that's what it looks like on the show. The exception being this had a hinge in it, and so it kind of went together to make a circle. And then when it made the Battle Wing thing, it came apart. So this should be closed together to make like a circle if it were show accurate. Otherwise, that one's pretty spot on. The rest of them, like I say, are kind of hit or miss. The helmet portions look really good, but the big thing is the lack of backpack. Like, this gives you exactly the backpack you want, but the other ones don't necessarily do that, as we'll see in a second. On the good side, you got the Claw Megazord, the Octozord. It does, again, gives you a really accurate combination to what you see on the show. It's the regular old Megazord helmet. He doesn't get a new helmet. He's the only one that doesn't. So let's bring Mr. Megazord helmet back out. It pegs in just like, just the normal one. But again, it's a very cool helmet, so you don't mind. And then the bottom part of the legs comes out and becomes a shield for this arm, and then the top part has this bit that extends out, and this little thing right here, this clip, attaches to the other arm to make like this cool looking spear thing. And that's, I mean, that's pretty cool. He's pretty decked out. You got a little decoration on top. You have a weapon and a shield, like, and it uses all the parts. It's show accurate. It's a really good combination. I mean, it actually is better than the Tiger, simply because the Tiger doesn't have the closed crest. I mean, this is the most accurate of all the combinations as far as to the show, and it looks really cool. Everything works. There's lots to do. It's, you know, it gives you a little bit more playability than some of the other ones, I think. I mean, because it all works. The support Zords are like $15 a piece, which isn't terribly expensive, but you got to buy them all. You know, you like to have them do something. So this one, aces, really, really cool. Love this one. I might as well just show the rest of them, because it's pretty quick at this point. The Beetle Zord is a little of both. The helmet, which you just pop the head off, and then you split the bottom part of it, is perfect. You know, it looks just like you'd want it to. It looks just like it does in the show. You know, good or bad. I mean, that is accurate. It's this crazy looking thing. You know, it's neat. You know, but it's supposed to just basically the rest of the Beetle is supposed to just kind of hang off his back, kind of just chill like this, sort of. It bends and sort of pegs in, so he has this, and then the wings come off and stick out of his arms. Like that's how it looked on the show. For some reason, that didn't happen here, and instead you have the helmet and then this shield. He's got a shield. I mean, I guess there's nothing exceptionally wrong with it, but it's not all that visually interesting, and it's radically different from the show. Don't really understand why, so he's got that going for him. You know, hooray for that, I guess. But hands down, you're talking about not only show inaccuracy, but just general dumbness. Hands down, goes to the Swordfish Zord. His helmet is actually pretty rad. Ends up looking very much like a crown. Let's see. Put this guy down. Slide it on there, and like I said, that looks pretty neat. I really, really like the way that looks. That's cool. It's a little, you know, more color up at the top. You got, you know, all the primary colors at the right above the waist. I mean, it's a really good design. The face fits in there, recesses back real nice. Now, what's supposed to happen is at the tippy top, there's supposed to be like an opening, and then, granted, it's weird, but you know, you have the rest of the Zord is a backpack, and then the sword sticks up here. So you're left with this, like, gigantic, you know, sword thing, and he basically does, like, a crazy headbutt with the sword on top. Whatever, you know. It's the goofiest thing on the show, hands down. They didn't do that on the toy. Instead, what you're supposed to do is take the rest of the Swordfish Zord, take the sword, stick it in here, just like that. Take off the arm, peg that on, that's how that's supposed to work. Just soak that in for a second. That's what they came up with as an alternative to the original design. Holy crap. I can't... What is this? I don't even. I can't begin to imagine why the fuck that was a good idea. It's pretty awful. But like I said, a pretty mixed bag overall as far as how the individual combinations look with the Samurai Megazord. The Claw Megazord only has one, so it won't take but a second to check him out. Not a whole lot to see here, so we'll get this real quick. Claw Megazord combines with the Octazord. As you take the bottom part here, peg it onto the little nub on his chest, so he has this little armor bit happening, and then there's this. On the show, basically what happens is you have something that looks kind of like this. You know, so it would be like a handle here, so that he could hold this and, you know, kind of hold it and present it like a spear, because this thing comes out and looks kind of like a spear. So it would be this speared weapon he can hold in his hand. That didn't happen. I've often thought about maybe cutting off a little bit from the bottom of the Megazord handle and gluing it here the way he could hold that, because the alternative, the official thing as far as this toy goes, for the American release is pretty awful. You take a blade of legs and you use this as the port to hold the sword, and it's awful. Well, might help if I have these on the right side. So real quick. So you can kind of see that the port is really strange. It's got like the round circle, but also the long parts for like the shields and whatever. So it's really strange. And so then when you peg this on, as is the official configuration, he just ends up with this weird splayed thing. But you know, the arm is too wide for these to actually go down and encase the fist. Like if it went down either side of the fist, it'd be a lot better, but that can't happen. So you know, you have to just sort of figure out how do you want to put this to not look, I mean, absolutely terrible. And in my opinion, you really can't. So I have found that if you really have patience, you know, and really just have no better way to spend a few minutes, you can sort of finagle these little ridges here with this fist, you know, sometimes, and get it to balance to sort of give the illusion of sort of what it's supposed to look like, you know. I mean, you can do it, but it shouldn't be easy. Like, it should just do that. I don't understand why it doesn't. It's very weird. So yeah, that's the various armament configurations. So let's take Claw Megazord, throw it together with the Samurai Megazord, and give me the Claw Armor Megazord. Okay, now we're going to take a look and do the Claw Armor Megazord. Remember back in the first episode of this little series how I said that the lack of origami forms are going to come into play and start, you know, hampering some things? This is exactly where that starts. And it's kind of a shame, because otherwise it'd be really cool. So, first things first, you more or less disassemble all the limbs of the Megazord. Knock the head down, turn this back this way, exposing that little area there, and pull the legs off. It all goes back in some capacity in a minute. You can leave these arms on, pull these legs off, pull the tail off, and this whole big thing here just pops right the hell off of the Claw Megazord. So, the Claw Megazord legs end up becoming like weird armor. So you have the post and hole on either side twisted around so they look like this. And so what you're going to end up doing is you're going to basically end up giving the Megazord about an inch in height, thanks to this bit right here. Because it pegs in right on top of the existing legs, right in the ports, and just sort of serves as a middle point between the bottom of the foot and like the top of the knee. So it goes in just like this, and just gets that much taller, thanks to this little bit here, the little sort of armor bits. So, you know, that's neat. Why not? And then this whole contraption here just slips right on top, pegs in. Cannot begin to imagine what exactly it is that that's holding on to, but it pegs on there and but good. And then this whole thing here is where the legs and the claws or whatever, the swords come off. And then you flip down this little face here. So that's where this little face comes from. Put this cool little crown thing. And it snaps right down in the top here. There's several connectors. It's going to be really solid once it's done. The tail clips onto the front here. The lobster tail goes like that. And then, like I said, the sides of the lobster head become swords. They go around like this, which is neat. Here's where it kind of goes south, though. What you should end up with on the back is this nice sort of like a belt look, where you have the origami shape for the lion and the turtle and the ape. This should fold right here to make a triangle and end up here. That can't happen on this version of the toy. So instead, you either have this, which looks weird, or you go ahead and transform this arm back down like it belongs, I guess. And so what you end up with is a robot with an extra set of arms hanging off of his ass for some reason. I mean, I guess you can't really tell it too bad looking at it from the front. It's not awful, but you can kind of peek down and see it. But, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, you know it's there, so it bugs you. Like, you know what it should be. It should, you know, it should do the thing that they decided that it didn't do, and that kind of blows. This mode looks really cool. I really like the way it looks, and it's one of those things where I saw it and it's like, holy crap, I have to have this. So just look at how damn pointy and shiny it is. Look at all that gold and all the point. Look at all the points. It's so damn pointy. It's awesome. Unfortunately, you get the extra inch here. You don't really get any extra thing with the arms. So when I noticed when the swords are in his hands, it doesn't look that bad. But when you take the swords out, the arms do look a little bit stumpy in relation to the legs now, because the legs are that much longer than they were before. You know, if they can kind of slide down these arms a little bit and make them look better. But I found the swords do tend to hide that quite a bit. So there's that. It's really cool. So, you know, without further ado, let's take a look at the Big Daddy, all its pieces together, the Samurai Gigazord. So, the gang's all here. This is everything. This is all the Zords separated out. And the amazing thing about the Gigazord is that everything goes together. There's not a single piece that's left out. Nothing ends up sort of free floating or what have you. So you got it all. You got the Core 5 folding Zords. You got the armament Zords here, big ass rock lobster. You got yourself a bull Zord. And it all goes together in an amazing bit of mix and match. Something to the effect of, I want to say 43 parts. I think I counted it one time. Something like 40 pieces. If you count everything that comes off. There's 40 parts to this thing. And they all go somewhere on the Samurai Gigazord. So let's see how fast I can do this. And if it's alright with you, I'm going to put on a little music while I do. So let's see what sort of amazing things we can do and how fast we can do them. I think it's a good idea. And that's it. That's the Samurai Gigazord. Gotta tell you, I've never done it that fast before, and I only messed up one thing. But you know, give me the one thing. It's not that bad. So yeah, let's take a look a little closer and see exactly what this cluster is all about. So yeah, real quick, forget my laziness, no backdrop. Let's take a look at this guy real quick. So as you can see, it's everything. There are certain elements, you know, some stuff kind of sticks together from the Claw Megazord, so you know, the Claw Armor Megazord, so the armors and whatnot, but then, you know, you have the Bull Zord's arms, cannons on the side, this, whatever the hell this is going on here, big giant cannon, swords on the top. Look at all the points, it's so damn spiky, it's ridiculous. Look at this, look at all the crap. It's got lobster arms on the top, for God's sake. Yeah, that's right, the Claw Zord arms, the way the hell over here. It's just, look how damn deep, it's ridiculous how deep it is. You got the wing thing kind of hanging on the back. You have the angriest taint I've ever seen in a toy. Look at that. He's got a crazy mouth on his taint. That's ridiculous. He's got face taint. So yeah, that is the Samurai Gigazord. And you know, one last time, origami figure, arm. So you know, that sucks. Had that been able to turn into the actual origami symbol, that would not look quite so stupid. As it stands now, he has, you know, an arm hanging off the side of it. And this thing needs no help looking stupid, because holy shit, just look at it, it's ridiculous. But I love it so much. It's just, all the colors are just out of this world, everything's kind of crazy, and nothing looks like it belongs together. but it kind of looks like it belongs together. It's brilliant. I thought it was an amazing design. I fell in love with it immediately. It's goddamn huge. It's so big and so stupid. I absolutely love it. So yeah, that concludes our look at the Samurai Zords. And so that's it. All that stuff smashed together makes this huge, multicolored, pointy monstrosity of win that is the Samurai Gigazord. It looks ridiculous, but I fell in love with it immediately. Like, I saw that thing, like, oh yeah, okay, well, you know, I gotta have all these damn things. And so now I do. And it sits comfortably on my desk, which is right over there. You can't see, but it's right there. My desk is there, and it's pretty rad. So yeah, that's it. You know, it was kind of back even the bug was in me. So, you know, when the Mega Force stuff started coming out, I thought, okay, maybe I don't want it. Maybe, you know, I'll, you know, check out the Mega Force stuff. No, the Mega Force Zords are stupid looking. They're really dumb. All those heads. No. No one wants that. And you gotta buy the stupid motorcycles and it. No Mega Force Zords for this guy. That's not gonna happen. And you shouldn't get them either. They're really stupid. But you can track down the Samurai Zords at clearance now, or at Toys R Us even had like a big box at one point, like a humongous like box set of all of them together, which. Again, me being the sick person that I am, I kind of thought, man, it'd be nice to have that cool box, but, you know, that's neither here nor there. I'm not that sick. I didn't buy it, you know, but, you know, you want to mail me a box, so check it out. But that's it, man. That's Toy Box for this week. Samurai Zords. That's a wrap. Next time, we're going to look at something a little bit different. We're going to go a little dark, and check out some Batman stuff. What is a pretty obscure piece of Batman toy history. No one ever remembers it whenever I talk about it. Like, I never bring it up. They're like, oh, that's not a thing that exists. And I'm like, oh, it is. I got it. It's over there. You can't see, but it's right over there. I'm looking at it. Like, I know it's a thing because I have it. So, you know, maybe you'll be like, oh, man, that is the thing that... Or maybe you're like, holy shit, that's really cool. I wish I would have known about that when I was a kid because it's cool as hell. So come back next week. We'll check that out. And go to PanelsOnPages.com and peep this and all kinds of other amazing content because, you know, at this point, I hope you're checking it out every single day. And if not, you know, every other day. I will allow you every other day. Tuesdays, chat.panelsonpages.com. Check out the live podcast. And, yeah, that's the long and short of it, man. I'll come back next time to look at some Batman stuff. And, yeah, Power Rangers, man. Who knew? Still kind of cool after all this time. What was that thing? That thing looks rad. But, you know, you saw it. So, you know, that's it. Goodbye.